Well, hello again, friends. It's your boy Monkey. I hope you're having a fucking great day. It's pretty chilly here. Got my little chicken legs out. I should have put some pants on before I went on a walk, but fuck it, right? Hope you're it's the usual little quote unquote motivation. Hope you're fucking following your dreams. Getting that girl, or maybe you're a girl getting that dude, or maybe you're a girl getting a girl, or a guy getting a guy. Who gives a fuck? Just live your life and be happy, because at this point that's all you can do, right? Today's video is going to be about the bando. And this is just off the top of my head. This is about like abandoned places. The reason why I got into exploring it, the reason why I sort of stopped, let's restart how I got into it, why I stopped, and the dangers of doing it, and what to look for and what to look into if you want to get into it. Urban exploration. I first got into it, I would say, when I was like 17, 18. I do remember I was whipping a little Subaru Legacy, and I was talking with this girl, and I was talking to, I'm not going to say names, I was chatting with this girl, and I was hanging out with this guy as well, and he wanted to bring this girl along, and he wanted to like impress her. I was like, let's go up to this abandoned place right here. It's right up here by Walmart. We'll just park across the way. We'll park in one of these neighborhoods, and we'll just like throw the four-way on or something, and put a sticker on our car. It says like out of gas or something, or blown something, or turbo's gone bad, or need new battery or something. So that's what we did, and we parked there, and we started going to this little house. We started to go to this little it was like a little abandoned ranch. Had like a little silo, had like a little barn, had like a main house, then there was like a little guest house, I believe. And we went over there to impress the gals. And if I remember right, it worked, because there was like a family of raccoons living in there. These leaves are a little crunchy, boys and girls. It was very they were very jumpy and very holding on to us. Oh, excuse me. And that's how I got started. And then that little trip of trying to impress a girl turned into me just driving around, finding abandoned places, looking it up online, Googling abandoned places online in all the states that I've ever lived in. And if you really want to find it that bad, you just drive around. Another reason why I got into it, I was a bit of a fake urbexer, I guess you could say, because I don't really do it anymore. I haven't explored in about 9 to 10 months. I got really fucking sick, but we'll get into that in a little bit. At first, it was just wanting to impress. Then I was like, yo, there's like, when I started moving around and seeing places, I was like, yo, there's like a lot of history. There's a lot of history in these places, and there's a lot of history. There's a lot of family heirlooms, and there's a lot of things that like are left behind, because some people just are in the house, or they're in the town, and then something happens and they have to just leave. They just have to pack your shit and you have to leave. Like, no ifs, no ands, no buts. You just got to get the heck up out of there. I've been to abandoned tire factories, abandoned farms, many abandoned neighborhoods. I've been to abandoned, obviously, houses, abandoned textile mills, abandoned brick mills, abandoned sugar mills, abandoned war forts, abandoned I almost went to this abandoned ship, but I didn't find that one. I almost went to an abandoned mental hospital as well, but where I was at, they redid that and made it into a college campus, which is good. I guess they're repurposing it instead of doing what we normally do in America when there's histories. We fucking bulldoze it and build something else for, you know, the... we're not gonna get into that, whatever. But that's how I got started into it. I do have a lot of pictures, or did have a lot of pictures, but since then, I fucking have erased most of them. Mainly due to the fact that I just needed storage on my phone, and I never sent them over to my, like, hard drive or, like, a flash drive, so I just fucking erased them, which is unfortunate. And I guess that sucks because I've met some really cool people in some abandoned places. I've also met crackheads there, so that's cool. I've seen some really old cars. I've been to, like, a few abandoned restaurants and a few abandoned diners too. That was cool. Until the punks get a hold of it and they fucking smash everything. That's a negative. We'll get into that later, folks. So I guess there's kind of a little half-assed rant as to how I started exploring. The reason why I stopped exploring is because when I remember I just mentioned I went to an abandoned like a textile factory down here in the Carolinas, and I was exploring the outer parts of it, seeing everything, doing all the, just going around, seeing everything, seeing what was going on, what was left there. I checked out this little, had like a little main office. I checked out the main office, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, when I went inside, there was like a lot of oil all over, and it smelled like gas. But then I went through this long hallway, and I turned the corner, I turned left. I turned left, turned right, and then I turned left, and there was a staircase that was going down. And I turned down that staircase, and if I remember correctly, I still have the video somewhere deep in my phone. If I remember correctly, I either just turned towards the staircase or I started to go down the staircase, and I got hit with the most awful stench ever. It smelled like, honestly, I'm gonna be real, it smelled like an animal or something had died down there. It was just sort of like a skunky smell. It had a bit of a skunky smell to it, and it was mixed with like chemicals and spray paint. So it was like a skunky, chemically, spray painty, asbestos-y bando smell. And that got me really fucking sick. And I only used the gator mask for the N95 with the little filter on the top, as opposed to like a proper mask to really just not get anything into my lungs. Hopefully these leaves aren't too loud, folks. My apologies. And after that little explorer, I was there for like 30 minutes. But actually, no, I was there for like an hour, but I only recorded for like 20-30 minutes. I got really, really fucking gnarly headaches. After that, I had really bad nosebleeds. My mouth was aching. I had stomach aches. I had diarrhea. Like it just wasn't fun. It just wasn't fun. It just was not fun. And after that, I haven't gone back. I've wanted to, but at least not to that place. And my memory is not very good because I've also had a concussion since then, so I don't remember. When was the last time? I'm talking out my rear. Actually, I just went. I saw some place off Reddit, actually. When I went back to explore, I made sure I had a better mask. I found some dude on Reddit who gave me the location, and that was that. Having a hard time with my memory. This is why I always take notes on these videos, and it sounds sort of scripted, or it's just a wing it. So after I got sick, I was like, no, I don't really want to do this anymore. Life went on, just my typical lazy self, blah, blah, blah. And that's why I don't explore. Also, mainly because I just kind of saw it online. It's a really interesting hobby. It's a cool hobby. But I guess enough of the talking about me and why I don't explore. If you want to explore, I'll give you some tips. I'll give you some pointers. Definitely live by the rules. If you can, Urbex, honestly don't, because it's fucking dangerous. Like I mentioned, the crackhead, you can run into crackheads. You can run into gang. There's a lot of increased gang activities and crime in those places because it's not monitored. It's not really there. And those places can be owned by the state, the government, the bank, Joe Schmo, or it's like a piece of history. And the majority of the time, unless you get permission, you're always trespassing. And it's even depending on the state or your country. If you're in there, you can get shot. Somebody comes onto the property that owns the property, and they see you on there fucking around painting or doing something you're not supposed to do. Legally, they can fucking shoot you. They'll probably kill you. So that's the reason why I don't really do that anymore. I had like a complete like lifestyle change. And I'm thankful for it. But so the first thing is be aware of the laws. Be aware of who it's owned by. If you can and want to explore that bad, me personally, depending on the place, I would contact the owner. That seems best. Definitely contact the owner to see what's going on. See if you can get permission. Because a lot of the times, if you're not one of the punks who just like squeezes through the gate and cuts a hole in the gate, or drives their car through the gate and breaks it, most of the time they'll let you on. They might like check your bag or something. They might even give you a little tour of the place. So they'll let you in. They'll let you do some cool shit if you're nice and respectful to them. But if you're entitled and go in and break stuff, then that's where things get bad. And that's going to be one of my next points, or one of my next few points. The second point is, one more thing. You live by the rule. Take only footprints. I can't talk today. Take only photos. Leave only footprints. That's like the big thing that I live by. I also just reorganize a lot of things in there for the next person and for myself. But I guess we'll get on to the next point. The next point is be aware of the like structural layout, I guess you could say. Be aware of the structure of the place. And like I just already mentioned it, these places might have like mold and asbestos and lead, and these pipes are leaking, and still water and like nasty moss water. And it's just not worth it. It's really just not worth it to go in there. And if you do, again, and then this pulls on to the next point, if you do, and there's 2 points. If you do go in, be aware of who you fucking go with. Don't just go with Joe Schmo, okay? Don't just go with Joe Schmo who's got an Aquafina water bottle, his Vans, his cargo shorts, and his fucking his fucking shirt, his Punisher skull shirt, all right? With his cell phone for a flashlight, all right? That's not like when my boys and I go to the bando, and when we went to the bando, we always wore like military style boots, like steel toe boots, waterproof boots, cargo pants, a shirt, like a nice warm shirt with a belt tucked in, with a coat, gloves, and basically like a camping backpack with food, water, a sleeping bag. No, that's just me. Food, water, first aid kit. Like it basically looked like we're going camping. So that we're going into the bando, it looks like we're going on a hike to go camping. So that's just us. And fuck, what was the other point? Be careful who you go with, and then structural damage. Be aware of the structure. And then I guess I've already touched on this one. I already said it, so I guess I might be repeating myself. But like, don't fucking break stuff, dude. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of headache in the urbex community, and a lot of backlash, a lot of downplay, because there might be like a church that everybody sees, stained glass all nice, everything's all set up, it looks like a church service. Oh, excuse me. And then all of a sudden, some high school punks get in there and trash the whole place, burn everything down and break stuff and set off the fire alarm and set off sprinklers. And then like, because a lot of these places, and or some of these places, most of them don't now, at least that I know of. They still have power. They'll still have power. So, like, you going through that door in the bando that says emergency exit only, that's been closed, there's a fucking possibility that you're gonna go through that door and the fucking alarm will go off. So just be aware. So I guess those little tips to recap: don't be a prick and steal things. Take only photos. Leave only footprints. Be aware of who you're going with. If you can, contact the owner, let them know. Ask them. If not, be willing to and accept the trespassing charge. Which most of the time, if you can get in, you can get out. That's what I say. If you can get in, you can get out. If you can climb up, you can climb down. If you can get down and swim there and swim back, cool. But if not, then just don't do it. It might not be for you. Let's see. Don't take anything. Take only photos. Be careful who you go with. Excuse me. Structural integrity, I guess you could say. Just the structure of the place. And then be careful who you go with, because you don't want to go with the wrong people. You never want to go to these places with the wrong people, because they're going to fuck you up. They're going to ruin your life. You might fall down or trip, or something will happen and they're going to leave you, and then you're stuck. And then back to being with that water bottle and that iPhone. Imagine getting stuck. A little side rant and a little story. I was reading on Urbex page, on like Urbex. It was like a little Urbex news page that somebody had made. And it was a place in like Kentucky or Tennessee or something, that these like 4 high school teen boys went to an abandoned jail or a prison, I think it was. And they went in, and 2 of the kids, I forget if it was one of the kids or 2 of the kids, they went into a jail cell, or one of the cells, and their homeboys closed it on them, thinking it was like a joke and that it didn't work. Nah, bro, they closed it and fucking like, they got locked in there, yo. They straight up locked their boy in the bando. And then, you know who you have to call? The police department, the fire department, the ambulance, because their boys got stuck in there. And they were stuck in there for quite some time. And it took them a while to get them out as well. And then, again, if I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, somebody can find the article, they fucking just left their boys, they just dipped, they just left them. Or that might have been a different story. I did read one that these guys got caught and their boy got into some shit with somebody in there, and the other 2 kids just left. But this jail story, yeah. The 2 kids went into the cell for some pictures to see if it would, and then they went into the cell to see what it was like, and their homeboy thought it'd be funny to close the fucking door on them and lock them inside the place, and they had to call the police, and they had to get them out of the abandoned jail or prison. I'm definitely just trying to go off the top of my head. My computer died. I didn't really feel like, it's been charging slow. We've been having power issues where I'm at. And I could have wrote it down on some paper too, but I'm used to using my computer, so. But I don't know really what else to talk about. I feel like I may have sort of talked half-assed and didn't really go into full detail of what I wanted to, talking about the bando. But like, that's just like the gist of it. I still do love Urbex. I still do have a love for it. But due to that last time that I got sick, excuse me, I just don't think that it's for me. There's nothing wrong with that. So if you try it and it's not for you, there's nothing wrong with that. Just go, excuse my stutter, damn. Just go in there, have fun, live life, love life, and don't get caught. And watch out for the knife-wielding crackheads that are in there. Or the gang deals that are going on, especially in the bad parts of town. But yo, I think that's about time to wrap it up. Your boy's shivering and it's time for lunch. So if you did make it to the end of the video, I really appreciate you watching. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you have a great rest of the fucking day, evening, afternoon, night. Follow your dreams, love your life. And if you haven't spilled your coffee, spill your coffee. Monkeys out.